As a truck company for 90 years,
Toyota presents a truck.
Every day, more Americans work with Chevys than any other truck.
This is Fih SMP, a survival multiplayer server made by some people within the community of this guy. If you're watching this, you're probably familiar with this guy. He made this video right here. I have been playing this server for a little bit now, and I find myself to be very fond of the people within it. Despite this though, I've remained fairly reclusive for quite some time now, and have disallowed myself the ability to truly live within one community here. I fear that by limiting myself to some, I would be restricting myself from others. Living near spawn, I was the most familiar with those who lived in this general area, but Fih SMP is a very expansive server, and nations are scattered all over. I knew what I had to do if I really wanted to get to know these areas and their people, but I had to get the parts for it first. Okay, not quite yet.
You want in? It's down. You gotta go down. It's no, not that far down. Okay. Yup. That's my cat. Okay. Wait, come back. Wait, come back. Wait, come back. Take that. Even if you already have it, take that for your travels. Yes, farewell.
And now I'm off to get the parts I require. On my way to get sand, I passed by this area that I had never seen before. Keep this in mind. This is Schrodinger's whale. Okay, I wrote Schrodinger's whale in the script here. I meant Chekhov's whale, like Chekhov's gun. It'll come back. Keep this whale in mind. Once prepared, I set out for my journey, saying goodbye to my home as I was not quite sure when I would see it again. This is the truck.
Awesome.
When I first joined the server, I decided I wanted to be reserved, but now I was doing quite the opposite. I'm now choosing to take on a new lifestyle, one that offered travel, excitement, and exploration. The plan is simple. The truck will go from place to place, I will indulge in an area, meet the people, show you, dear viewer, the people of Fih SMP, and then I would drive away to the next. The first place I decided to park my truck was just near the whale, as I needed a peaceful area to think and plan. I was not quite sure who owned the whale, but after some lawful exploration, I found out I had two neighbors that I could tell of. One, the person I was nearest to, was Bon. I had met Bon only once before in passing, where I had meant to throw down a couple diamonds while walking by, but accidentally dropped the whole stack. I was too embarrassed to bring this up, so I never said anything and walked away in silence.
If you have not noticed, I have temporarily parked my truck nearby. I will only be here for a day or two, but I do hope it is not too impeding. Required somewhere that had company, but still space to hear my thoughts. I will not be here long. Love the whale. Booster. I don't want anyone to get the wrong idea that I'm staying here.
The second of my neighbors was Shower Nymph, who I had never spoken to nor seen. Once scoping things out, I returned to my truck and prepared for the night's rest, playing a tune to bask in the moment.
Here comes the best part, the beat drop. Get ready, get ready. Here it comes, ready? Ready? Wow. This is actually really nice. I forgot my spyglass. No. Shut this off.
Now satisfied, I rested my truck bed and concluded my day.
Good night.
While at my truck, I would spot someone nearby, someone whose name I did not know to be affiliated with this area. This is AC. I've never spoken to her before, not once ever I don't think. I also had not seen her name on any property signs nearby, so through deduction, I figured she was plundering the chests of Bon. Luckily though, I am far too non-confrontational of a person to say something about this, which is good because AC was in fact someone who was living with Bon, so accusing her of plundering would have been a poor first impression.
AC. Hi.
Hello. Oh, you're the car stopper.
Did you hear that? The car guy. Does this look like a car? Does it look like a car? This is very clearly a truck, a very nice truck in fact. I don't drive a car, I drive a truck. I need all of you to get that through your heads before we continue this video. Do you understand that? Good.
Do you live here?
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah. That makes sense. The whale.
Yes, man.
I was quite surprised to hear that I was already someone of note in this area, and AC actually seemed fairly excited to meet me, which was great because I'm not typically someone that people are excited to meet.
I didn't know you were here. I'll have to, like, stop by more if I see you online. But I'm heading back
stop by
in
more. You're always welcome.
2 simple ground rules would be laid out for this experience going forward. 1. I was not allowed to drive to a new area until I have interacted with and gotten to know the locals. 2. I cannot travel very far from my truck, especially not to interact with others. The second rule was to force me into interactions with some I may not have already met. If that were not in place, I probably would have just ran to spawn each day and spoken with the people I already knew. But this video is not meant to be a reflection of me, it's meant to be a reflection of Fih SMP's people, including the ones who I did not know very well. After this interaction, I actually found out that Bon had noted my presence as well, and they didn't seem too keen about the truck parked on their lawn at first, but after I used my smooth writing and persuasion skills, the tension quickly fizzled out. In fact, looking at this picture, do you see that? It seems I left my truck bed open, overnight too. This cannot happen going forward. Rule 3. If the truck bed gets left open, I fail the challenge and cut ties with this community.
You think he's scared?
Now I needed books to begin writing out my plan, so I had no choice but to find cows. I was also lacking on food, but luckily there was a great amount of chickens nearby. And I mean a great amount. Throughout all my looking, I would not find a single cow, and in my darkest moment,
There are no cows. How can I plan ahead with a book if I can't find cows to get a book? I'm killing the chicken hole.
with no cows and blood on my hands, I would return to my truck for the night. Later on day 2, though, I would notice someone online. Someone who I had intended meeting from the moment I arrived at this place.
Hello.
Hello. Hi.
Oh, so you're the truck guy.
Yeah, that's my truck.
Yeah, my friend had told me, and I was like, oh, okay.
Bon was incredibly kind and actually explained to me that the person who I had been calling AC was actually called Ace. Incredibly confusing, I know.
At first, it was just me, but that friend of mine just moved in, and actually, this is their first time playing Minecraft. So
Really?
yeah, this is their first time playing Minecraft. They always
That's
play
so
Roblox,
cool.
bro.
That's
Yeah, that's
so
their
funny.
whale.
If you notice here though, I had been referring to Ace as she, as her pronouns on the server were set to she, he. Bon here referred to Ace as them, and I immediately buckled and started doing the same.
That's their
Bill.
whale.
So Ace, if you see this and you use them, I'm sorry for calling you she. If you see this and you use she, I'm sorry for calling you them. Bon explained that this was actually Ace's first time playing Minecraft, which didn't quite make sense to me because the whale was incredible looking, especially for someone's first build. I can't believe Ace was actually a Roblox player. Tragic, I know. As I said, I had met Bon in passing, but this is the first time we ever had a real conversation. Bon told me that they had been living there for quite some time now, and recently had Ace join them, as they were friends, presumably in the real world, but I was far too wary of myself to ask something like that. Bon had also mentioned that a player named Fat Doggo was moving in with two of them soon, and Nuclear had been providing them resources for some time now. That's what Doggo's pronouns are. It says nuclear. I'm really trying my best here.
Oh, we also need sea lanterns, but we heard that Finland had like made the sea guardian farm.
Oh, really?
Yeah. That's what I heard at least. I mean, that's what I saw in the Discord server. I mean, I kind of need that low key. I need that for the sea lanterns because this person after the whale, they're gonna build like flying fishes around that place. So,
Yeah. Well, Finland's the next place I'm stopping, so I'll get you guys some stuff while I'm there, actually.
I had a mission, a firm next stop, and a reason to return back to these people. This was great news. Bon would have to go, and I could sense the conversation getting difficult to uphold.
Whoa. This chicken's got some crazy hair. Look at that. Okay, I need to go find some cows now, so farewell.
I used the cow excuse to get out of there before they started thinking of me as awkward and lowly. Phew. This time I would find myself with much more luck and collected enough leather to sustain me the rest of my journey. I used the leather to craft the plan. I decided if my goal was to truly get to know this community, I should probably read the lore book of my temporary neighbor. I had been avoiding this until now because it was 20 pages. Quite the daunting task, especially for someone who failed 4th grade English. Now thoroughly pieced, I would return to my truck for one final sleep at this location, preparing for the journey ahead of me the next day. I could not wait. I needed to make my journey now. At the start of day 1, when I parked my truck, it was morning time for me, which is typically when there are only a couple players online, which made it easy. Currently though, it was nighttime, which is when the people are most active. I needed to drive to my next destination, but I did not want to have to make any awkward goodbyes with Bon. With stealth and haste, I would eventually get my truck on the move, prepared to go to the next destination. Even harder than leaving, though, was arriving. Not everyone will take kindly to a truck being parked on their land without their permission, so I was hoping here in Finland I would get a chance to set up without anyone seeing. I staked out for about 30 minutes before giving up and building the truck, praying that nobody would see me. I was not stealthy enough, though, and would be spotted by an individual named Kim.
Hi.
Hi.
Hello, Kim.
What's up?
teammates at? Where's everybody at?
See what?
Where's everybody at? Where's the party?
Well, it's like late, so they'll.
I see, I see. This is cute. Did you make this?
Yeah,
That's you.
it's a little. You wanna see my base?
Yeah, yeah.
Let's go. You know, it looks better on the inside.
Oh, okay. Wow. So how do you
Well,
get down?
down? Well, I didn't really design it yet, so.
You haven't thought of that part yet?
Kim's base was very nice, and I was happy for the hospitality. Now neatly parked with my explanation in hand, I was ready to end the day for real this time, waiting until tomorrow to see what Finland would hold for me. The same day, but later, I would log on to see if any Finland members were online at this time. I had not expected to be confronted.
Is that look good for you? Look at you. Leather armor on. Oh, man, you're kind of fitted out right now.
Oh my god, you're calling me poor, buddy? You got orange
Yeah,
armor on.
you
got
look-
your leather armor.
Yo. No, we're like one and the same. Look at us.
Brother, I got the copper, I got the gold boots, I got the gold
Okay,
boots, buddy.
okay, you're rich. We
Yeah,
get it.
Get to this level, buddy. What's this? This your truck? You living in the back of this?
This is Finland. You're a prominent member here, yeah?
Yeah, you can say that. Here, come on. Have you gotten a tour yet?
I got one from OK Bomber one time. I was like tagging.
Bomber doesn't know shit about this place. Come on.
Putting aside the fact that he called me poor and bad at parking, I allowed Karjan to give me a tour of Finland. He showed me the train station, airport, OK Bomber's destroyed base.
What the?
It's filled with stone.
Why the f is Bomber's house filled with stone?
I got to see the general area of Finland and felt very welcomed. So welcomed, in fact, that I forgot entirely about my side quest of getting sea lanterns.
I just have to kill myself real quick because Arctic, she's building stuff and she needs some help with that. So,
Oh, okay. Yeah, have fun with that.
Thanks, I most certainly will. I wish you the best. You're always welcome in Finland, man.
Yes, thank you.
Content with my arrival in Finland, I rested, preparing for what may lay ahead. The answer, though, on day 3 was not much. Not much at all. I awakened and opened my book to see a lovely letter from OK Bomber. I decided one good deed should be awarded with another, so I traveled to his base to clean it up. It seemed he was already ahead of me though, and I could not show my gratitude. I ran around for a while looking for a guardian farm for the sea lanterns I required, but there were none to be found. I decided that as much as I wanted to get the sea lanterns from Finland, I should probably get diamonds to purchase at its spawn, in case the Finland sea lantern was a false rumor. Or maybe Bond was tricking me. I didn't mind the slow day that consisted of keeping to myself though, because I had to listen to a feminist play for my women's studies class anyways. I'm also 6'1" and single, by the way. Day 3 was entirely uneventful and concluded very quickly, as I had work that day. Tragic, I know. Day 4 would arrive and I would wake to even more kind messages in my notebook. I had never planned for people to put welcome messages in it, but I was quite glad they did. Well, most were welcome messages.
Okay.
And I was off on my journey, ready to find the carrot shop. I was off, ready to find the carrot shop. I was off, ready to find Skip Blum's carrot shop. I gave up on the carrot farm and purchased from the bakery something I could actually find. Once delivering the cake, I would find a sign on the bridge that may be of great importance. Bum's farm? Could Bum be Skiplum? Is Bum Skiplum? Is this where I could buy Skiplum's carrots? Once again, I was off, ready to find the carrot shop.
Is this it? Really? Is this actually it? Are you serious? This is the farm I came up for? Where's carrots? Where are the carrots I need to buy? Are we for real? There's like barely any sheep even. There's like 4 carrots there. Are you serious? This is the worst farm I've ever seen. I genuinely have never seen a farm worse than this. It's terrible. This is terrible.
With my hopes in the dirt, I returned to my truck, ready to log off for the day. When I returned, I saw someone online. Someone very important. I would dash to Dollar General as fast as I could in hopes to find more information on where I could buy these carrots.
Who's here? Hello? Hello, you. Hi, you. How are you
Sup?
doing?
Pretty good.
You're just flying through?
I'm delivering carrots for the people.
At first I thought you was delivering me carrots from Skiplum, but eventually I realized these were carrots. This frustration was even more compounded though when I would realize the unfortunate truth that I had been avoiding.
I went up there.
The terrible mountaintop carrot farm was indeed Skiplum's carrots. Something had caught my attention though, something very exciting indeed.
They're saying my name in chat. Oh, someone's here. Hello? Certified bear.
R8 John. No, wait, you're not John.
I'm not Car John.
You're Dupster. Hello.
Hi. How are you?
Hello. Good.
I had never spoken to Certified Bear though, and he explained to me what he had been up to recently, which mainly consisted of getting back on his feet after losing everything in the end. He was very interested in the lifestyle I was currently pursuing, similarly to most I had talked to so far. He explained most of Finland's history to me and detailed the nation's recent uprising. He also offered me another tour of Finland. At this point, I had already gotten 3 tours, but I'm not one for confrontation, so I abided and followed along. I was happy for the company after all.
They've all got stupid names like John Mending, John Unbreaking, John Sharpness.
Me personally, I don't think John is a stupid name, but again, I'm not one for confrontation. I was glad I had gone on the tour though, because I ended up seeing a couple places that Car John hadn't showed me.
Random rate here, but Dark Prismarine is such a stupid block to have to get due to how crap the conversion is. Because
did
you
you
need
get it?
8 shards and 1 black die for 1 block.
For one
So to
block
get 1 stack of these, you need 8 stacks of Prismarine
and
shards.
64 black die.
Mm-hmm.
That's
You can see
crazy.
how crap that conversion
Do you guys
is.
have a Guardian farm?
No.
Did you hear that? That was a masterclass in tricking someone into giving out information. Sure, it wasn't malicious, but he was none the wiser to my motives. This was important though, because it meant I was no longer on a quest to find a Guardian farm in Finland. Certified Bear echoed my sentiments of how great the people on the server were too, which is nice to hear coming from someone other than me, especially unprompted. Our conversation was cut short though, as another visitor would arrive about this time.
I feel like I'm being watched.
A group of people, yeah.
There's
Hello?
a man watching me.
Hello?
There's a man
You didn't see me.
Don't run away. Come back.
Hey, don't worry. We're peaceful. Finland is a peaceful group. Don't worry about it.
Scratch that. 2 important visitors.
Giplum's here. Giplum, where do I buy your carrots?
It's over there. Or just with...
I think it's at the mountain.
I want carrots.
Mountain is the farm.
Carrots.
Truly, the capitalistic grind.
Garrett me, how
never
many do you want?
stops. Oh.
Take that. Take payment.
I can offer a sea pickle.
Skip one. That was your first diamond.
Skip, that's your first diamond.
That's your
Skip
first
Lum.
ever diamond, bro?
You are broke.
Skip.
Take more. Take more.
Bro, you are absolutely living in rag, dude. You gotta
You're
step up
broke.
your game, twin.
You're so
Skip
broke.
got netherite before diamond.
You gotta build something.
Skip
You
got
gotta
serious
build something
dedication
with
before
sand.
diamonds, for Christ's sake.
That's crazy.
Netherite hoe is crazy. Peep the sword and the pickaxe.
Now he said pickaxe here, but you'll notice what he handed me was not a pickaxe. Now if you'll notice, right here I hand him back a pickaxe, not aware of the mistake I had just made. Now if you'll notice again, he handed me back my pickaxe. I was in too deep and I had not known my mistake. Now eventually I would hand over the bow, and I felt great guilt at my mistake, fearing he may perceive me as some lowly thief. We conversed for a while and were eventually interrupted by an admin requesting my use. Luckily, I was not concerned, as I was used to being nothing more than a tool. Their plan failed though, and the channeling stick did not work at all.
Knock knock. Knock knock.
Yes, Johnny.
Knock knock. I'm in. Oh. Shh, be quiet.
We would visit Skiplum's apartment, where we'd listen to some great music before heading out on a journey to spawn to collect eggs from certified bear at spawn. He had a bakery there, which I did not know of, and after a quick tour we were back outside, all conversing once again.
What's going on here?
With one. Oh,
Showing my bakery.
we were just talking about you.
What?
We would grow to be quite the crowd outside the bakery, and I hadn't spoken to many of the people in this group before. I'm very glad I came to Finland today, because if I never had, then I would have never met all these great people. Funny how things like that work. After lots of conversation, so much so that I had to make 2 different flashback recordings, I would return to my truck and rest my final night in Finland. But something was off. Something was weighing on my conscience.
Hi. Earlier when I was looking to buy carrots, I might have, I mean, you weren't here, you didn't hear it, but I might have said some things about your farm, and I'm just coming to apologize, for the things. I mean, you don't know what they are, I'm not gonna tell you, but, I'm just letting you know, I think it's a really nice farm, and I'm hoping to see your business prosper. Well, look, here's the thing. From my perspective, I come up to the to buy some carrots, and I find this farm, I didn't take any of it, but I was really confused. I was like, okay, there's just this random farm on top of the mountain. But now that you have that netherite hoe, that's a game changer, right? I'm sure this farm you'll be pumping out carrots, like it's nobody's business. So, but yours, of course, it'll be your business. So I'm just it's really weighing on me. I just wanted to apologize, and let you know that, I'm on your side here. I'm really cheering for you. So, that's about it.
With my conscience clear and the skies starry, I was ready to truly rest my eyes for one last time in the great nation of Finland. Day 5 would come, and I had seen that Karjan was online. I didn't want any awkward goodbyes, so I logged on hoping that he would not be in Finland at the time. To my surprise, though, it was not Karjan who was in Finland, but Kim. Luckily, Kim is fairly reclusive, so with both of our best interests in mind, we didn't interact with each other at all. Within the last few days, I had already decided where I would go next, as outlined in The Plan. However, after last night's great company, I decided to take a bit of a detour. Now parked in the great nation of Pandington, I decided to take a good look around. Ironically, I had parked right next to the guest house, which I would not be using at all. If you'll remember, Blackwing from yesterday had mentioned that he was a member of this nation, but to my surprise, he was actually one of the leaders. This was great news because it meant I was already familiar with someone of high stature, so it would be unlikely that they would contest my stay. My self-guided tour was cut short though, as I noticed somebody arriving. I quickly logged off as it was far too early in the morning to interact with anyone. Later that night, after work, I would log back on because someone familiar was online.
Hello, where are you
Get
at?
off me land! No.
Hi.
It was Blackwing, the same guy I had spoken to the day before, and he offered me a very warm welcome.
Stay as long as you like.
Yeah, I'll only be here for 2 days, because I'm going to pack up Friday, because I won't be able to play, I don't know, one of the days.
Wow, very well spoken. He was currently giving a player named Otter a tour, so I ended up tagging along with the both of them.
Everyone says that. Do I give off that impression? I don't know what
Yeah,
would
you're
make you say that.
camping in a truck, going around to different towns, never staying more than 2 days in each one.
Yeah, look, we don't read
Yeah.
into it.
While being shown the next place Pandington was expanding to, another familiar face would pass us by. It was Mac, who actually owned the land that Pandington's new expansion was built on. Despite this, he was allowing them to expand their nation. Mac remained independent though, and unaffiliated with any one nation.
Back.
I was brutalized by Otter, but once returned, Mac would offer us a small tour of his home. It was quaint and on the side of a mountain, very similar to mine, which was nice.
Hey dude, so if you ever end up getting the cops off your back, you can always live in Pendington. I swear to you, he actually escaped from prison. I swear to you.
We don't know
Lives
that.
in a-
There's no.
He lives
there's
out
no
of a truck.
confirmation of that.
He changes place every 2 days, and he's talking like that.
Oh, I saw the truck at Fandington. Yeah.
I was kindly offered a prolonged stay in Pandington during this time. However, I was also accused, again, of being a criminal. If we disregard the accusations, I am quite flattered. I had now had 3 nations offer me prolonged stay within their residence. I felt like the belle of the ball. We took a trip to Spawn, as Blackwing wanted to show us the new Contractors Guild, and I got a chance to show them both my actual residence. The Contractors Guild was owned by Micah, who was also in the group with us the day before. Micah had grand visions of building this place up, and everyone was quite invested in the idea. Pandan was down here too. Pandan was a player I'd only ever spoken to briefly, but she was the head of a large railway project that would connect all the nations. The railway in Finland that you had seen was one of the stations for her system. Skiplum would turn back up too, and with a little help, they were now part of our conversation. Skiplum, apparently, was having issues in the carrot business, and they were now quite frustrated. So frustrated, in fact, that they had stopped advertising so blatantly and were starting a mafia ring. A bit drastic, I would argue. Another familiar face was nearby as well. However, they were reluctant to join the group, understandably so. After some great persuasion from yours truly,
Guys, come down.
What is
Guys, come
blood
down.
we would eventually be joined by Bon. Unbeknownst to us though, a great problem would grow below. A discourse would arise within the conversation though, between the two sides of the carrot spectrum. You here was handing out carrots, with the mission for food to be free for anyone who required it. This directly impeded on Skiplum's business though, as they needed the carrot industry to be viable. Another new development was that Bon had turned to drug pushing, which Skiplum very much liked the sound of, especially with the whole mafia thing going on.
Mafia will fail right off the bat. That's already.
Wow.
Oh, violent.
Carrot shake.
There it was. Skiplum had begun striking fear into all those who would stomp on their mafia, which was very important in the industry. Apparently, I had also flown a little too close to the sun, and I was gone before the others could stop them. Game recognizes game though, and I had nothing but more respect for Skiplum after facing their blade. We did get a little bit off topic,
Free Diddy.
but eventually we would get back to our regular conversation. However, my social battery was worn out, and I was ready to head back to my truck for the night. However, in my struggle to find the correct portal,
Hello, Knick-Knack.
Hello.
Are you going to the where everyone's at?
I don't know.
Just been exploring. My first time looking at some of these places.
I could show you where everyone's at if you want.
Sure.
With Knick-Knack now under my wing, I would return to the group once again. The group was now joined by Ace Cosmic, who I don't think I had ever seen, let alone spoken to.
It's gonna melt.
We would clean up the curse before a quick dance party, but you could not hear the disc at all. Luckily, Mac will replace it for you, dear viewer.
Da, da, na, na. Da, na, da. Da, da, na, na.
The rest of the night was fairly uneventful, and primarily just consisted of fishing and conversing. I did get a chance to explain myself though, which was quite rare.
I do want to hear you out. What are you exactly?
These were originally intended to be robes, actually. The orange armor, that was the original intention, because I live in the mountains too. It was like a monk thing.
You're like a monk.
Get some trims.
Yeah.
Some like blue trims or something.
Yeah, you know, but beauty's in the eye of the beholder, you know?
Why you drop a random quote?
He asked about the quotes because I was spewing wisdom all night, but you, dear viewer, may not hear it. Well, the night was mostly uneventful.
It's still not as quick as breaking it, but passive, I guess.
Float is above the water.
Luckily, I had been gifted an invisibility potion, so it was incredibly easy to slip away unnoticed. Day 5 had now come to a close, and it was nice to see many familiar faces once again. Today was the first time I truly learned the interconnectedness between all the communities outside of Spawn. I had missed out on a whole world, and I didn't even know it. By not affiliating myself in an effort to allow myself companionship with everyone, I had actually ended up segmenting myself from a whole community outside of where I resided. This was far too much to think of, and it was time for me to rest. Day 6 in Penitent consisted of just about nothing happening, at least not while I was on. It was for the best though, because I used this day to do a lot of editing. I think I spent like 12 whole minutes editing today. Day 7 I would pack up and leave Pandaton, a little sad to go. Originally, I had been excited when leaving, because that meant I got to go to a new place, but now I felt a twinge of sadness. Part of me feared that by leaving an area, I would lose my connection, though thin, to these people. When this trip is all said and done, will I return to my solitary life at Spawn, only ever getting to know those around me, never branching out? Burdens heavy on my mind, I arrived at day 8, and at my destination too. I set up at the lovely circus that Swift had ran, someone who I already knew pretty well. Toothpaste lived out this way too, so I was taking a break to catch up with some people I hadn't interacted with in a while. I logged on once I saw Swift online, and I actually found him alongside Bjorn and Osteo. Bjorn I had talked a fair amount to, but I hadn't talked to Ostrich very much. Most of our time spent together was just normal conversation, as everyone in that group is pretty laid back.
They're flying, I didn't realize they were flying.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep you company, Deepsy.
I have an Elytra, I just haven't been carrying it with me. I've been doing a lot of traveling. I don't want to use my Elytra, it feels cheap.
That's valid.
Well, there was one event of the night.
Wow. You tried to crush her.
Roulette.
Wait, what if I...
Yeah. Oh, no, stand in it.
Wait, you can open it over here. Never mind, you cannot.
Oh no.
Uh-oh.
We broke.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
There's no way. Wait, are we actually stuck?
We're stuck.
Yeah. Yeah, we are.
Osteo was probably the least lucky person I had ever seen, and we spent a lot of time waiting for her to win.
Oh, you are terrible at this.
Oh, how can you be terrible at this? It's
I
great.
don't know, but she figured it out.
Triple papers in a row!
What are the odds of that?
Oh!
Whoa!
You did it! Oh!
There was one exception to her luck though, and it seemed to be in her favor with one question.
Oh, Doopster, do you know who's placing those trucks around the server?
Who's placing the trucks?
Mm-hmm.
Weird, why do you ask?
No reason, I just wanna... I really like the concept, it's really funny.
Oh, you like the trucks?
Doopster, no, Doopster. Is it you by any chance?
What made you guys come and ask me about that?
Yeah, Doofster.
I've been away from home recently, so I don't really know what's going. I've been away from my house.
No, I
You
just
know.
asked because you mentioned traveling around, so.
Oh, did I?
Yeah, you said that's why you weren't wearing the elytra because it would be like cheating.
Because I've been yeah. Well, if I did have a truck, I'd probably just drive it. I wouldn't need an elytra. I could see where you would get that.
I honestly didn't know. Did I guess by accident?
Yeah. I've been driving a truck.
There's no way.
That's where my luck goes. That's where my luck goes.
That's
where
where
the
all
luck
of your luck went.
I mean, the dog is just kind of down
It'll
there.
tell you a fortune if you listen.
Okay.
You have 2 weeks. Whoa.
What?
You better
Who
not
said
talk to
that?
the dog anymore.
Who said that?
Whoa.
Oh, wait, I need another one.
Don't cross the road.
After our adventure, there were a couple incidents that separated us, and I returned to my truck for the night. Day 8, my final day at Swift's, I would find myself logging on to see Toothpaste, someone who I was already very familiar with. Toothpaste and I were only acquaintances until we helped Loopy terraform his comically large house, which Toothpaste had built. He's pretty cool. He and Swift were the main reason I wanted to stop out here. We also noticed that Loopy was online, and we wanted to show him Toothpaste's new house, as he had not seen it yet. When we arrived, we noticed one issue though.
Has he found it?
Now, right after the comically large house was completed, Toothpaste and I had set up a plan to live within the walls, and up until now, we had not been noticed.
My walls! How on earth? What? Mr. Zombie.
Hey man, what's going on?
Doopster, have you done this? Hello?
Yeah, what's going on?
So, like, what's going on here, man?
Yo, this is weird, right?
Who would have?
Yo, there's a bad look, huh?
Damn, I can't believe you got you got rats.
Dude,
We got
there's so many
damn
walls.
rats in here, brother. We need to start. I need to get an exterminator.
Look, they're growing trees too. Oh, they never finished the farm.
Oh wow. Oh wow. Look at this. Oh, they're growing stuff in here. Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, they have a whole farm in
Quite
here.
majestic.
Wow. I wonder how long this has been.
They should probably take the time for the chat. I don't know. I would guess like maybe 2-3 weeks, maybe a month. 2-3
Yeah.
weeks.
I would say
Yeah, maybe.
the house got built.
Luckily though, we were able to discreetly pass the blame.
They know the builder, like there's a couple
Mm.
people
Like
in
inside and out almost. As
Yeah,
if they almost
yeah.
made the thing.
I think it was
perhaps.
Vampire Night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I'm getting at.
We would all return to Toothpaste's new home so everyone who hadn't been there could check it out, and it's definitely one worth seeing. Eventually, we would go to Swift's place too, and everyone would find themselves admiring my truck, which felt quite nice. Most of this session was just discussion as we toured around the area, which was good because I hadn't spoken to most of these people for a while, except Biam. I saw him yesterday. Speaking of, Biam had just constructed a ski resort out near the world border, which was pretty cool. I was familiar with this area because when a moderator jailed you, it would teleport you out here in a bedrock box. I've done my time. We would then travel again to Vampire's ancient city that he had been restoring, which I actually found to be quite the interesting project. However, at this point I was quite drained, and once alone, Toothpaste and I would discuss our social burnout, but luckily, we found a solution to get out of there. Once back in my truck, I spent my final rest out there, thankful for the opportunity I got to catch up with those who I had not seen recently. Day 9 would come, and leaving this area was probably the most difficult so far, as I knew the people here already. It made me long for an end to this challenge because I missed those who I had known when I lived at Spawn. Everyone has a story to tell though, and there are still many nations I needed to go to. I would reach the Sun Kingdom, which was my most feared destination. The Sun Kingdom is not hostile, as far as I could tell, but they did have clear, defined borders. This meant they cared about their property a decent amount, and might not be the happiest about a truck parked right next to their fountain. Day 10 came up quick, and I decided to take a little tour around the Kingdom of the Sun. Before coming here, I had assumed it would be much like Finland, as they were both larger nations that had developed within a couple weeks of one another. The Kingdom of the Sun was much more peaceful though, and while its structures were built up and beautiful, it seemed to lack the amount of bustling all at once. It's likely this was due to time zones, but I guess I'm not too sure. There was one person of note online though, and that was Inera. As far as I could tell, she was the founder of the Kingdom of the Sun. I didn't know much about her, but I had spoken with her a few times, and I knew she was good at art. That's as far as my knowledge goes.
These are like mostly empty. Most of these are.
You could check mine. They just updated it.
Yeah, maybe because of Yuri.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. That's cool.
No, it's not a prominent thing that I just tell everyone about. Yeah, my
Oh.
kingdom's made from Yuri.
Why? You should be more open about that. You should be proud.
I love Yuri! I love the Kingdom of the Sun! Day 11. I awoke to find a very kind gift from the kingdom in my chest. Once packed up, I headed out into the nether, ready for my next destination. At this point, I was aware that the only nations that were left were still a work in progress, as they had just recently sprung up. I planned on staying in Viraloon next, but upon my arrival, I would realize that it was not yet fully fleshed out. This event pivoted my ideas of how the rest of the day would pan out, so I decided to do a quick tour of the following nations rather than staying in them for a couple of days. After Viraloon was Queendom of Kewit, which is cool. Maybe Kingdom of Kewit. The sign was changed to Queendom, but originally it was called Kingdom as far as I'm aware, which is cool because I had actually been eating their product up until now, and it was nice to see what you had been up to since I had seen them last at the Contractors Guild. Lastly was Riverside Village, which was actually more developed than I was aware of, and it seemingly appeared pretty quickly. Many of the members here were players who I was quite fond of, even though I hadn't seen them often. I really liked the vibe of the village, and based off the signs, everyone there seemed super welcoming. They didn't have any motives other than to welcome in more members, and I applaud that. I also found Knickknack's house, that new player who I met on the Nether Bridge a few days ago, and I thought it was quite poetic to see how far they had come in just the span of my journey. After my sightseeing, I would park my truck one final time, at the place I knew best, at the place I had missed for so long. I look back on this project and find that I don't think I had set out to do what I wanted. I now realize that my goal was unattainable in the first place. I said my goal was to show you, the people of Fih SMP, but in truth, all I wanted to do was show connection between the people of this server. I wanted you to feel the way I did about this place. I wanted to immortalize something so temporary, so fleeting. I don't think media can ever replace true human connection. I don't think you could ever feel toward the character the way you would if you were actually there. Even the best representations of this are nothing more than representations. You aren't truly connected to those characters. You won't feel as if you were speaking to them personally. You, as a viewer, could never feel how nervous I was to settle up bonds. You could never feel how lucky I was to speak to Nightwing or Skipplum. You could never feel the sense of community I felt after day 8 or the conversation I had with Toothpaste between shots. You don't know the background either. You're missing unrealistic amounts of context. You can't feel how I felt day one of this server when people spoke to me, even though I knew none of them. You can't feel the things I felt, nor could you for any other character. And the one feeling a viewer lacks the most is connection, true connection. I think that's what makes it so special, because we know it can't be replicated. All we can do is enjoy it in the moment and reminisce as an individual in our own subjective experience. I dedicate this last portion to all those who contributed to that connection, all of those who made me feel towards the server the way I do. I want to thank Henley for being the first person I spoke to, Uyo for the cake, Karjan for repping the Steve skin, Biam for making that parkour difficult, Pandan for making really cool projects, Gladio for showing me Rexifer, you for keeping me fed, Liam for teaching me all about PvP, Tuxedo Dogs for being in that one place that one night, Astyuk thus for being suspiciously unlucky, Alphador for that one slip up that one time, Owl for letting me ramble about how much I love this server, Certified Bear for echoing love for the server, Skiplum for having an amazing carrot farm, Oddnil for talking about Poon Poon with me, Ace for forgiving me, Snugget for hanging out in VCs with the group. I really enjoyed those. OK Bomber for getting that 94 on that test, Kuva for frightening me, Blackwing for being so cool that I pivoted to Pandaton in my trip, Knickknack for changing the course of my night, Shower Nymph for writing a really cool journal, Murmia for having a cool bass theme, Velmu for loving Freak Show, Stipert for tolerating me, Bunlad for being named Buck, Alfie for telling me about work, Toothpaste for getting sand with us that day, Swift for just being cool, I don't know, Onder for being the best peak tour guide, Borko for winning those 2 Fortnite matches with me, Loopy for losing those 7 Fortnite matches with me, Miko for laughing at my joke that one time, Anera for being so good at art, wow, Front Ending for being one of the first people I spoke to in Discord, Doggo for calling me the best lawyer ever, Polar Bear for that one court case, Scrimpy for talking real talk with me, Zeno for interrupting me while I prepared my truck parts, Aerifier for being super cool with me on day 1, T Graves for being T Graves, Sigma for the awesome horse, Stone Dingus for having a hilarious name and skin. Oh, it's definitely Micah. Micah for letting me clarify that my armor is robes. It's either Micah or Mika. You clarified in the video, but I don't really remember. If I'm going to be honest, I'm sorry. Kim for being as quiet as I feel sometimes. Vampire for showing us the ancient city. Mac for being super chill. Otter for killing me a bunch. Nars for calling me washed. Vipos for talking about the blue guys. Siggy for being so little. Grok for writing this script. Pancakes for making the sandcastle. Arctic for being great at pranks. Logan for letting me keep you up to date on the server. Thank you, Logan. Noobgod for being my favorite Bedrock player. Sitka for setting up that cool tent near my house. Anna Bravo for using the Discord. Anna Bravo also plays Bedrock, by the way. I think. Vifto for returning Loopy's gas with me. Galarite for accepting that stall disc. Chug Jug for finally getting Java Edition. Ketchup for something probably. And of course you, dear viewer, for watching. I'm sure I missed plenty of people, so if you're a Fih SMP member and you're watching this, thank you. The thing I love most about this server isn't the server itself, but the people within it. I never would have loved this community as much as I did if you had all not been there. So sincerely, I thank each and every one of you for playing and being who you are. Even if just one of you weren't here, it would make the experience that much less enjoyable. Fih SMP would never reach the potential it had without every single person here. I'm forever grateful for you all, and I hope to fish again with you someday.